1010 wins.
I think it's important to be better informed about what's going on around you.
They cover everything.
That's the way to present it.
1010 wins.
At 92.3 FM.
AccuWeather tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. There will be a stray shower here and there later on. Low 49 tomorrow. Sunshine will mix with more and more clouds. Breezy, cool. A shower around late. The high 63 degrees. Cloudy, breezy as you start your weekend Saturday. Cool with rain at times. It will taper off later in the day. Sunday's possible high 61 degrees. Keep it here on 1010 Wins for the latest from AccuWeather.
WINS FM and HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins and from any other radio station in the nation. John Davis, Service Aide, Sweetina Kakar, Editor's Desk. I'm Mario Vasquez.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
59 degrees and clear at 8 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Lane Bajardi, and here's what's happening. Governor Hochul announced a budget deal that legislative leaders say is news to them.
There's no budget deal. There's no deal.
I'll tell you what the governor says is coming and why the Assembly Speaker is pushing back. City Rent Guidelines Board will cast a preliminary vote on rent levels tonight. Talks resume today ahead of a Long Island Railroad strike deadline next week. Still in the hospital, but out of intensive care, Rudy Giuliani is applying for medical coverage under the World Trade Center health program. Following weeks of outrage, New Jersey Transit is cutting the price of a train ticket to World Cup matches. Yankees win, Mets lose. AccuWeather says partly to mostly cloudy tonight. Stray shower later on, low 49. Partly sunny, breezy, and cool tomorrow, high 63. Wins News Time 8:01. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
We've got a closure in New Jersey on Route 1 and 9 southbound at Willow Glade Road in Linden. A down pole across the highway here. All lanes are closed and detoured, so head to Route 27 instead. A big mess on the Connecticut Turnpike in Greenwich. First southbound exit 5 through exit 2, right lane construction. At a standstill, then northbound between exits 3 and 9, also at a complete standstill into Stanford with construction in the left and central lane, so the merit will be better. Very busy on the northbound West Side Highway tonight from the 90s through the outbound George, and then the east side is busy from the 140s to the outbound George ramp. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Over a 45-minute wait getting to the outbound George. Every approach quite backed up still, and then inbound, luckily it is quiet. The Lincoln Tunnel heading inbound, it looks like about 10 to 15. Outbound, it's looking all right. At the Holland Tunnel into Jersey, a 15-minute backup, and then inbound, quiet. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Luckily in Nassau County, we're moving well along the LIE and no trouble on the northern or southern state parkways. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
While the New York State budget adoption is now 36 days late, Governor Hochul made this announcement this morning.
I'm very proud to announce that we've reached a general agreement for the fiscal year 2027 state budget.
She then went on to run through the highlights, but any state budget deal needs approval from the state Senate and Assembly. And the Assembly Speaker, Carl Hastie, says there is no budget deal.
You know, all parts of the budget, the governor's team, the Senate team, the Assembly's team sign off. We signed off on nothing major.
Hastie says there are so many open issues on money that it's premature to announce the deal is done. The Bronx Democrat also expressed disgust at Albany's long habit of forcing a year's worth of policy debates into the budget process. What does the governor think has been agreed to?
The new state budget will pave the way for 4-year-olds to be able to attend preschool statewide by the school year 2028-2029. And along with that, Governor Hochul says she's going to make sure social media platforms have enhanced privacy settings to protect children from predators.
We'll restrict location sharing for minors so virtual threats cannot become real-world harm.
She'll also ban any law enforcement agents from wearing masks while they're on duty.
We're enacting a law to allow New Yorkers to hold all government officials responsible, including ICE agents, when they violate New Yorkers' constitutional rights.
A total of $352 million will be allocated to support gun violence prevention programs. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Lower Manhattan.
The governor says the budget will also include the pet-a-terre tax on second homes and investor-owned apartments valued at over $5 million in the city. city. Mayor Mamdani happy to look forward to the estimated revenue that'll generate.
We've said time and again that we're confident in that tax's ability to raise $500 million a year, which will be critical in putting the city back on that firm financial footing. And I would say that even since the announcement of the extension, we've seen progress in our conversations with our partners in Albany.
Approach by the mayor and city council speaker to reduce the pass-through equity tax is not included in the deal. The governor announced today that the assembly speaker later said was not actually a deal. A proposal to force habitual speeders in the city to install a speed limiting device in their vehicles at their own cost is. City Rent Guidelines Board meets tonight to begin their first rent battle of the Mamdani era. Samantha Kumar of the New York State Tenant Block notes the mayor ran on a freeze the rent platform.
I'm feeling confident. Tenants are the majority in New York. Last year, about 1 million of us voted for a rent freeze in the November elections, and we're going to win it this year.
But representatives of landlords also go astray, and they're dealing with inflationary pressures amid aging housing stock. Kenny Burgos is CEO of the New York Apartment Association.
And what it's going to do is actually destroy thousands of buildings that are already in deep, deep financial trouble.
The preliminary vote tonight, followed by a final decision on June 25th after the usual public hearings. And here are the results of the preliminary vote. A proposed apartment and loft adjustment for apartments in 1-year lease from 0, which would be flat, a freeze, to 2%. 2-year leases, 0, which would be a freeze, to up to 4%. Both of those are well below the inflation level. Police in the East Village investigating a broad daylight shooting. Happened before 10 in the morning at Avenue D and East 7th Street. 38-year-old man shot in the chest and arm, taken to Bellevue in stable condition. Shooting happened on the grounds of NYCHA's Reese Houses in Alphabet City. Sources telling the Daily News the victim has not been cooperative with detectives. Talks continued this afternoon between the MTA and unions representing Long Island Railroad employees. Workers planning a rally this weekend to raise awareness of the coming strike deadline.
The head of the LIRR Commuter Council, Gerard Brinkman, says it will be a nightmare, plain and simple, if this strike happens. Buses will replace trains, and it will take twice as long to get to work.
You're going to drive in? Can I have a ride share with somebody? When I get there, where am I going to park? There's a whole number of things that our commuters really need to start thinking about.
He says you may want to look into taking some days off.
The contingency plan is really not going to get everybody in that needs to get everybody in.
He is glad, however, the two sides are talking. He calls it a good sign. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
Rudy Giuliani is doing something some might have guessed he would have done long ago. With the assistance of 9/11 survivor attorney Michael Barish, the former mayor is applying for free medical care under the World Trade Center health program.
No, Giuliani's not going to have any problem proving he's down there. He worked at City Hall, which was just 5 blocks from Ground Zero. And of course, there are countless photos and video of him right around the World Trade Center.
Barish stressing the program is not only for first responders, but those who are downtown breathing the air. Giuliani's spokesman says he is suffering from a 9/11-related respiratory ailment that put him on a ventilator during his recent bout with pneumonia.
As sad as I am for the mayor right now, his illness and his struggles are going to really help a lot of people by drawing attention to the fact that these programs are not just for first responders.
U.S. State Department will begin revoking the passports of thousands of parents who owe a significant amount of unpaid child support. Revocations will be focused on those who owe $100,000 or more. That would apply to about 2,700 American passport holders. After that, the revocation program will be greatly expanded, covering parents who owe at least $2,500 in unpaid child support. With many choosing to apply for a passport to travel, even within the U.S. now, rather than deal with the hassles of getting a state-issued real ID. This could have wide-ranging impacts on more than just overseas travel. Despite the Supreme Court's rejection of President Trump's widest unilateral tariff threats, he's issuing a new one.
After speaking with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen Thursday, President Trump is now threatening to raise tariffs on the EU if it doesn't fully ratify the trade agreement it reached with the U.S. last summer. The president said it in a social media post. He told von der Leyen he's giving her until July 4th, or else he'll increase tariffs on European products coming into the U.S.
Correspondent Karen Travers. 59 degrees and clear. We're going down to 49 in Midtown. Winds News Time 8:11. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
In New Jersey, a road closure, Route 1 and 9 southbound in Linden at Willow Glade Road. Everything is closed and detoured. A down pole is across the roadway here. Highway is shut down, so head to Route 27 instead. Big backup on the Connecticut Turnpike with overnight construction southbound from exit 6 through exit 2 in Greenwich. 2 right lanes out, and then northbound from exit 3 on up through exit 10 in Stanford. 2 lanes of construction as well. Both ways at a complete standstill. The Merritt, that will be the better option. Very busy as well along the LIE through Queens from about Woodhaven through the Clearview. That is still stop and go tonight. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels getting to the outbound George. Every approach starting to ease up, but still busy, about 30 to 40 minutes. Luckily, inbound is all right. The Lincoln and the Holland both looking okay again. The outbound Brooklyn Bridge still at a standstill tonight. Luckily, the Verrazano is now quiet both ways on the upper and lower levels. Kelly Dillon, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast from meteorologist Brian Thompson.
There will be some more clouds around as we head through tonight. There will be a stray shower later on, but much of the night will be dry, a low around 49. And kind of the same story tomorrow. Much of the time will be rain-free. Might be a shower in spots late in the day tomorrow, especially north and west of the city. Otherwise, a partly sunny day with a cool breeze, high 63. Then becoming cloudy tomorrow night. There will be a shower around, especially late, a low 52. Saturday, cloudy, breezy, and cool with rain at times, tapering off late in the day. High Saturday, 61. So most of the rain will be gone late Saturday. It'll dry out into Saturday evening. Then warmer for Sunday on Mother's Day with sunshine giving way to clouds. Could be a couple of showers late, high 74. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
59 degrees and clear. We're going down to 49 in Midtown. Soccer is the world's game, even if most of the world calls it football. World music plays a key role in enjoying the beautiful game, and we are hearing the theme of the 2026 FIFA World Cup for the first time. That's Shakira, the queen of the genre, in a collaboration with Nigerian star Burna Boy in a song you'll be hearing a lot during the games. She dropped a minute-long clip of the full music video that will premiere next week. Still not a bargain, but a train ticket to World Cup games in the Meadowlands just got a little cheaper.
A round-trip train ticket to MetLife Stadium for this summer's World Cup won't cost $150, but it won't cost the usual $12.90. That 18-mile trip from New York City is now going to cost $105. Officials in New Jersey say the lower price is thanks to support from sponsors and other sources. Governor Mikey Sherrill reiterated that soccer's governing body should be covering transportation costs, not New Jersey transit users. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Soccer fans note New Jersey Transit charges far less for train rides to see the Jets or Giants at MetLife, and they still feel ripped off. New Jersey not the only one dealing with the cost of hosting a major international sporting event. L.A. getting ready for the 2028 Summer Olympics.
A new city memo says the LAPD projects securing the Olympics will come with a price tag of $1.15 billion, and that the LAPD only has enough staffing to cover about a third of the needs during the Olympics. LA will have to heavily rely on outside law enforcement agencies to come in and help. While it's a huge cost figure, state and federal funds could fully or significantly cover the $1.15 billion, and the state of California may pick up the obligation and cost of bringing in outside law enforcement for the Olympics. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The more the merrier? We'll find out. The college basketball playoff brackets will be looking different next year.
Just when you thought March couldn't get any madder. The NCAA announced it will expand both the men's and women's March Madness tournaments to 76 teams apiece, adding 8 teams to each bracket. That means there'll be 8 extra games in the first week of action, with the 12 winners advancing to the main field of 64. And if you think money's not a factor, think again. The NCAA will distribute more than $131 million in new revenue to schools that make the tournament, with the value of rights agreements increasing $50 million a year on average over 6 years.
That's Erica Herskowitz. Also going up as the brackets expand, revenue from sports betting, which is also having a huge impact on decisions like these. A beautiful Mother's Day surprise for 30 moms raising their kids in shelters. They're getting free tickets to a Liberty game.
For a family in shelter, a ticket to a basketball game is much more.
We feel really seen, and it's exciting when, anything family-centered is, amazing for us. So we're so excited.
Rashada Velez is thankful for the Win shelter provider who partnered with StubHub for a surprise for 30 moms and their kids, tickets to a Liberty game. Mom Wakima Brown says they've done a lot.
The help that they've given, the confidence that they give for the families is really nice.
It means happiness and proudness.
And the feeling of making life a little easier. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
A big change could be coming for the Postal Service. Weapons in the mail.
The United States Postal Service is considering a rule change that would allow anyone to send handguns through the mail for the first time in nearly 100 years. A 1927 law prohibits the shipment of handguns through the Postal Service unless they are from licensed retailers.
Correspondent Jim Krasula, the Justice Department issued an opinion in January calling that law unconstitutional and making a case that allowing for the shipment of handguns will make it easier for lawful gun owners to transport their firearms via the U.S. mail. Despite President Trump's repeated